Radio Zero.
It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose. Friday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, 4 p.m. CST.
We have dyed the live stream green in honor of St. Patrick's Day.
Did we really? That's
Yes.
cool.
Yes. I don't know if you can see it for those of you watching the live stream.
I can't even see the... Oh, here it is.
You can subscribe to the podcast through Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Go to RadioZeroUS.us. We're live streaming on Facebook, on the Radio Zero page and Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJCUSA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. We're back to Fridays at 4 p.m. Central. We'll see how long that lasts. You can patronize us at patreon.com/Radio Zero.
Well, I tried to go on the Poster Children Facebook page, but I ended up accidentally buying tickets to our show.
Yeah, we've got some shows coming up. Just announced Chicago. Poster Children shows. Chicago, Saturday, May 27th at the Bottom Lounge with the band Moon from Chicago.
I've heard of them.
And then we're also playing Minneapolis sooner on Friday, March 31st at the Ice House in Minneapolis with the band Houston from Minneapolis, the Minneapolis Houstons. And then we are playing a show in Champaign Saturday, May 6th. More details on that to be forthcoming. And another show, actually. There'll be another show announcement at some point. Not officially announced yet, I don't believe. So, yeah.
And there's going to be a show in our house tonight with these Surdu drums that I have sitting right here that I procured.
They're very big. It's like 3 kick drums
Can I
piled
get you
up.
to play? I want you guys to play them. They're my heart drums. I love them so much. I love these drums so much. It's not even funny.
I foresee like a Matthew McConaughey situation where the police got called to his house because of extreme bongo playing.
Oh, really? Really?
In Austin, I believe.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so imagine that.
They just wanted to go to his house, though, because that's the guy from not Existence, the bad Existence, right? What movie is that?
Wow. I don't know. It'll be fun to figure out.
You know what I'm
Whoever
talking
gets
about.
it
The only movie, only Dannon is listening.
So, okay, Matthew McConaughey. So if you're not
Looks
aware
like a truck driver.
Not aware of the film Existence, it's a David Cronenberg film.
It's a good movie.
It's kind of his video game version of Videodrome. It's
right.
about Jude Law's in it, Jennifer Jason Leigh. Wow, I just realized that, right? So Jennifer Jason Leigh is Jamie Lee Curtis's, is that true? Her stepsister? Is that right?
Wait.
Half-sister?
Oh, we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, the movie with the dust storm at the beginning and the chick with the cut hair. Her hair is cut.
Interstellar?
Okay, yes.
That's
Who's the
like
guy who made that movie?
Existence?
Yeah. It's got...
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. It's not like Existence, I guess. It's got in fact, this is nothing like Existence, but it occupies the same little man area in my brain which is a man movie that I kind of like.
With Contact, right? You're thinking
No,
of
no,
Contact.
that's a lady movie. That's a movie for ladies. Do you like that movie?
So,
do you like Contact?
I like it as much as I like Interstellar. I'd
That
have to
just
watch
broke
Contact
my-
again.
Yeah,
I
we
just
should
saw a
watch
picture.
that.
Actually, somebody had I don't know if it was someone I know here, one of the listeners, someone posted a picture of what's her name in Contact, and she's getting in some alien signals, and it's I think it's an Eventide 4000 harmonizer.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's some kind of sound guy thing.
And there are a couple of
like
ADATs.
What
else was there in the rack? Oh, a Focusrite. It was just like
Focusrite. It said Focusrite on it.
It was just somebody's home studio equipment from 1996. When did that movie come out?
Oh, that I kind of like that. I like that movie a lot more than you did, and that's because I'm a lady. In fact, you probably only liked it because it's Jodie Foster, right? Who's in it? No, who's the lady in it?
Maria McConaughey.
So it's no the Contact.
Yes, it's what's her name? Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Yes.
Yeah, you had a crush on her when you were little.
That's right.
That's so cool. You had a crush. You're like a real man. I love that because just because you're so nice to all the women now. It's I would never think you would ever have a crush on somebody. You're just so morally upstanding.
I mean, I was 10 years old, saw her in Taxi Driver, and was just mesmerized.
So Larry says, my goal is to see you guys at least 12 times in my lifetime. I am up to 6.
Oh my God, that's a lot of
die
pressure.
Yeah. Well, you got 4 coming up. You can see us 4 times, and you're seeing us right now, so that counts as like 5, right?
I think he should make it last longer because then we'll live longer.
Oh, if I,
right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
If he uses up all 12.
Serenity, Cody B says. All right, so Dan says Happy Friday. Cody says Serenity, and Larry says the thing about wanting to see us. Yeah, good. And we're going to be performing most, if not all, of Flower Plower, right?
Depending on what you count as Flower Plower.
Yeah. If you're an older Flower Plower person, then you'll think that we're playing all of it.
If you had it on vinyl originally. Yeah, we'll see how much of the rest of the record makes it into the live set. What is it? The Eye of Sauron is already on a couple of songs from Flower Plower, the extended things where I'm like, I don't think it's worth our time and trouble to try to...
Wait, which ones?
I don't want to talk about it.
You're not going to say...
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it because somebody might say, you know what? They have their finger like hovering over the ticket buy button, buy tickets button, and then I say, but we're probably not going to play
If You See K because we can't play it well.
Never mind.
We guys, when we practice, it's really funny when we practice and then we think that we're going to play like, self-aggrandizing, I think is the word. But we think, people are going to like that. We're going to play this one. We're going to pull out this dusty, we're going to play, what She Walks or something. And people are going to, we always, Matt and I like pretend that we're like sitting at the bar. Like while we're playing, we do this thing. We're sitting at the bar and then we start playing and then we're drinking a beer like calmly and then we like spit out our beer everywhere because, oh my God, they're playing that song. That's our little joke that we have. Are you listening to me?
No.
Okay.
So Jennifer Jason Leigh is not related at all to. Why did I think? Oh, because she was the daughter.
Wikipedia doesn't make any mention of a relation to
Morrow. Yeah, Vic Morrow. Yeah.
The Dumb Boat AI movie.
Yeah, I got super confused all of a sudden. Where I was like, did I forget some trivia? And I was like, no, I did not.
You know what I did yesterday? And I've done this twice. I've done this twice in the last 2 days. I was putting in some kind of a thing. Like I was filling out a form, like a 2-page form that goes straight to like the head honcho of the university, right? And then after that, it goes to my boss. So it goes all the way to the top and then goes to my boss. And I clicked the wrong yes/no button on something. I was like, no, is it this type of thing that you want? And I was like, yes, but I really meant no. And I clicked the wrong thing. And you're like, if you wanted yes, you needed to upload another file. So the provost's office emailed me and said, hey, you forgot to upload that file. Can you please upload that? And I was like, oh no, I meant no, not yes on that box. I absolutely clicked the absolute wrong box and I was getting scared. And that happened again just recently where I did the wrong thing. And this, I remember when I was really little and I was sitting in 3rd grade or something and the teacher calling on me and saying, well, Rose, what did I just say? Did I say this A or B? And I was like, you said B. And she was like, no, what the hell? I just said A, and I was just like, but I'm smart. I couldn't how half of my brain just turned off or something. And this happened, and I'm scared that this is going to happen again. I'll be driving the car and I'll drive it off a cliff or something instead of driving it on the road just because, I thought, I don't know. I'm afraid that I'm going crazy. So,
Maybe
it's fine for you to get the movie wrong,
you're
is what I'm
just
saying.
forgetting things. What movie did I get wrong?
Movie. I thought you just said, see, you didn't even get the movie wrong, and I thought you got it wrong.
I was talking about Jennifer Jason Leigh.
What
being
was she?
related
Oh,
to Jamie Lee Curtis, but that was wrong.
Just because of the Lee? They spell Lee wrong.
Well, Janet Leigh. Well, no. So the thing is Janet Leigh spells her name Leigh, and then Jennifer Jason Leigh spells her name that way, whereas Jamie Lee Curtis, who's the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, she spells the Lee Lee.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. I'm looking at Dan's message right here. So all right. So, but I had forgotten that so Jennifer Jason Leigh and the woman you had a crush on, what's her name again? I forgot now. I can't have two lady actress names in my head at the same time.
Either can the Academy, apparently.
Yeah. Can you, what? So, all right. So they're both contemporaries, right? Are they?
Well, no, I think Jamie Lee Curtis, you're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. No, they're not. Never mind. They're not. Jamie Lee Curtis is way older than Jennifer Jason Leigh. Duh. No. Not Jamie Lee Curtis, the lady on Contact.
Whose name now I can't remember because you've barraged me with all these names and now I can't.
This was all right. I'm sorry, but I'm following a thread here I'm following like a dangerous thread on my phone right now. Like, okay, let me turn off my closed captions on this so I don't get. I can see what I'm saying and but it's delayed, so it's freaking me out.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster Wallace.
So Jodie Foster was famous earlier, I would say, than Jamie Lee Curtis. So Jodie Foster was famous in the 70s. Jamie Lee Curtis, Halloween's like 78, 79. So that Jamie Lee Curtis was not. Although, no, she's, what is she in? I forgot. She's in something.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
No, now I'm thinking of Melanie Griffith.
Oh, my God. There's so many lady actresses. So, all right. So forget about that.
Hitchcock Daughters is now where I'm going. So
remember when we were on tour with Steel Pole Bathtub and we were sitting in the tour bus, I think, and you guys were just making connections. Like there was a box. This was that tour, right?
Yeah,
there was a box full of videos.
Year before the Internet Movie Database.
Yeah. So
we basically entertained ourselves for a whole tour, trying to connect all these movies together and all these actors together, and then the next year,
the Internet Movie
got
Database.
ruined.
Yeah.
That whole.
And Mike Moraski was probably working on that. That's probably what he was working on, some kind of search engine thing while we were on that tour. All right, so let's talk about the Oscars, shall we? Or should we talk about these beautiful drums here?
You already did.
Okay. Well, so they sound like when you hit them, they sound like this.
Yeah, let's talk about the Oscars. We're already rolling on the.
Okay, all right.
So you have any thoughts? You were still upset, even though.
I was upset that nobody from Everything Everywhere All at Once, nobody from Everything Everywhere All at Once won the best male actor until somebody reminded me that Brendan Fraser was in an A24 film, and then I was okay with it. I was like, oh, okay. I don't care if he like culturally appropriated a fat person, and I didn't see the movie anyway, so I can't really complain about it.
I'm just upset. I mean, I Brendan Fraser, I'm perfectly fine with. He was great in that Steven Soderbergh movie just recently. I was just talking about it.
Was he in 21 Jump Street, or is that a different?
No, but he was in
like
20 Bucks. Do you remember that movie? 20
I
Bucks?
love that movie. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, that was the first time. Where he was kind of acting. I feel like, or less Brendan Fraser. Well, no, yeah, he was always a good actor. But I'm just upset about Colin Farrell not winning because. The Banshees of Inisherin, he's really great in that.
Okay, all right. All right, I have to say.
And so he's going to wind up getting an award for a shittier movie. He's done a couple of movies, like The Lobster. I was just describing it either to you or somebody else, and it was just like, boy, he's really good in that too.
So I saw like a post too, like talking about how all of the main actors that won those awards, and the supporting actors. were underdogs, like they were all told that, it was like, oh, you're past your prime, or you're never going to make it anymore.
Yeah.
It's over and stuff. And having having like gone through certain circumstances and still the Academy like bestowing this greatness upon them. And so I kind of like that. So I think you were watching The Banshees of Inisherin like for the second time. And I was like, and you were like, Dow, come in here and watch this movie. And I was like, okay, if you're gonna have Dow come in, then I'll watch it, but I'll fall asleep during it. And I fall asleep, like that's my sleeping time is like 9 to 11, and then I stay up all night. But I couldn't take my eyes off of that movie. Like I couldn't stop watching it. And I was half asleep, but I was like, oh, this is a good movie. I couldn't stop. I knew like it was a good movie because I couldn't stop watching it. But that's like comparing a checkers game, or like a really good checkers game, to the chess game that is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Thank you. The one person who I didn't think was going to win was Jamie Lee Curtis, and who won? Who was the first one to win? Was it her? Like they're in tempor.
Yeah, they did start out with best supporting actor and actress, right?
Yeah,
Didn't they? Or they started out with animated film.
Yeah, but then they did that, and I think right.
And in our household, there was a bit of upset about Puss in Boots not winning for the best animated feature.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, we thought it was something else. Oh, no. Well, anyway, I don't remember what we thought was going to win. But when Jamie Lee Curtis won, I yelled, "Shut up!" too. I mean, I screamed and actually hurt my throat because I wanted her to win so bad. And I was like looking, like I follow her on Facebook now too and stuff. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you didn't like that movie. And I know it's not because you're a racist.
Wow.
No, like I don't know. Like I've talked to people who are like, well, wait, that's like all about Asian people, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, you have to get past the fact that it's not being carried by like a white man. Yes, Turning Red should have won the best animated film. Joe Christman.
Oh yeah. That
Turning Red.
So
is that what he's Turning Red?
But that was so long ago. That was the thing. Is like we saw that. That was good. It had the disadvantage of having come out in like January or something, right? A year ago, I feel like, and so it was like, yeah, that was a great movie.
I feel like that movie made Everything Everywhere All at Once easier to watch. Because it had the exact same like theme to it. Like it was another like mother-daughter like weird mother-daughter thing. Like I kind of feel like that blazed the trail. Turning Red blazed the trail for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like made those connections in your mind, and then you could watch this and you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. So anyway, I screamed during that, and then when Ke Huy Quan, who won next, it would have been him, right?
I don't remember.
And I expected that, like kind of expected that to happen, and that was, because everybody just wanted to watch him cry and talk. But what really surprised me were the speeches that the Daniels gave and stuff. Like the speeches they gave were just, I don't know. I just loved it.
Well, they're writers, so they.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't like, I'd like to thank the Academy, and we heard it was very hard for us to get here. It was more along the lines of the movie. It was. I don't even remember what they said, but whatever. It was like, it was hard for us to get here. Little shout out to like trans people, right? I mean, I'm trying to remember. I was like, it was like it was even enjoyable to listen to the speech. I'm glad Michelle Yeoh won also. I felt, oh, that's right. With the Jamie Lee Curtis, I didn't think that she was going to win because I thought they wouldn't want to choose between her and Stephanie Sue.
Yeah,
and
that's what I thought.
Yeah, and I felt really bad. Then I spent the rest of the night kind of feeling bad for Stephanie Sue until she got on the stage and was singing with David Byrne. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully she's okay with this. Do they know, like, do the actors know beforehand who's going to win? Do they not know?
No, nobody. They're not supposed to know. I mean,
Wow.
I guess it could all be a lie. It could be pretend. It is the movies.
Joe is saying he can't show everything everywhere all at once to his girls yet. Why? Because there's dildos in it?
It's a little...
Anybody who doesn't like it...
It's mature content.
Well, my foot fell asleep. Okay. Well, I just think that's so much more than just a movie. And I know, like, and you've seen... and that's because I'm uninitiated into I don't know more about like these sort of more like you were saying, oh, all these movies are going to be like this now, where there's like extra shots edited in. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm talking?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
You think about that
exactly
movie.
What you mean.
If you watch
They're
that
going to be
movie,
editing these movies now. They're not going to be a single strip of celluloid of someone sneezing. They're going to cut in a picture of someone reacting to the person sneezing. And then people are going to go, why did it change?
So I'm watching this movie, and all of a sudden, it's a mom and a child, a mom and her daughter fighting, and all of a sudden, they're not sitting on a couch fighting anymore. They're dressed up as a female Pai Mei, and her disciple, like a female like the Pai Mei is a great like kung fu teacher, right? There's a female of that. You usually see him like pictured. It's always a him with a white beard and stuff in kung fu movies. There's a female one, and actually, I think it's her daughter, right? Is she dressed? Now I have to see it again. But they just like have a little clip of that. That's a little part of their fight. And then there's a piñata. There are piñatas hanging and fighting with each other, right? There's just like just all like when it gets to it's more kind of I don't want to call that surreal because it's real obvious what's going on. There's two people fighting in these scenes, but it just there's so many different clips of this fight. So I thought the representation of that was something new. The butt plug. So Joe is saying you'd have to explain the butt plug. What's there to explain? It's a trophy shoved up somebody's ass.
What's there to explain?
Or like not only is the guy's a fantastic martial artist, right? Like this is like a fantastic fight scene. The guy's got a trophy shoved up his ass, and he's naked from the bottom down.
Yeah,
I love this movie so much.
So Rose commonly will say things like, I'll be like, I don't think the 13-year-old should watch Taxi Driver. And it's like, what's wrong with Taxi Driver? What's in Taxi Driver that's upset? It's just, yeah, you're a little too lenient on the content, I think. Your rating meter, your MPAA rating meter is a little off.
How about the part where she's decided, like she attains enlightenment and she decides, instead of feeling sorry for herself, she's going to help out all the other people that are are having bad lives. She decides she's going to do that. And one of the people, she wants to have what's that called? Is that called S&M, like sadomasochismist or something? Like there's a little bit of that in the movie too, I guess. I don't know. I guess that would be hard. Joe says his girls are 6 and 12. Yeah, maybe I guess. Like if you don't want to have to explain what a dildo is to them, then yeah. But the thing is, somebody who's 6 is not going to understand what that is anyway. They're not going to be like, "What's that?"
That just reminded me that there's a documentary about Cleanflix, the company that built the machines to allow to edit, digitally edit films. Like you could pop in a DVD. Like it was popular with like the Mormon community. I believe it was
cool.
I need to watch this. I forgot. Totally forgot that there was a documentary about it.
Can you let me know when you're going to watch that?
2009. Wow. So
that's long
time ago.
I'll bet AIs could do that now mostly. I want to watch that too. That just reminds me of like Cinema Paradiso. Mm-hmm. Which I wouldn't mind seeing again. Okay, Michelle, let's see. Larry says Michelle Yeoh has made some incredible martial art movies in the past. Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon notwithstanding. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about how we'll watch, and that's in the movie theaters actually, right? Because I was like mad that I didn't. I was like, I want to go see a movie now, because you guys came back with that popcorn. And I was like, oh, I want to go sit in a movie theater and eat popcorn. And then I wondered if Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is out in theaters here, around here. Because I thought that they were
releasing
I saw it,
actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's the movie we have to show our kid with Michelle Yeoh in it. Like, there's so many other good movies.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I know. But it's like,
I'm
there's
sure
so many
we
other
can
good
find
kung fu movies.
you talking on 10
Yeah.
Radio Zeros 20 years ago about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Probably.
I didn't like the end of it. You know what? I don't want to watch like stuck up people who won't tell each other that they love each other. Like there's like all these flashy martial arts, and they're like, very yang in like energy, like people flying all over rooftops and stuff like that. Like all the fighting, and I don't remember what all the fighting was about. I actually don't remember what all the fighting was about. I'm sure it was a standard, martial arts, reason for. Martial arts movie reason for all the fighting, but like in the midst of all of it, like the two main characters, won't tell each other that they love each other, and it's just like
too much talky talk stuff.
Not enough talking, like
not
just too much sexual tension, or like there wasn't even. Yeah, I don't know. I can watch it again though.
I just remember people flying around in trees.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so Danny's saying, I think you should host a screening. If you do, make sure you send me an invite. And I don't know which one are we talking about? Which movie, Danny? Sorry, I didn't get that. Well, that was a minute ago, so we can decide. Super Cop with Michelle Yeoh as a hidden gem.
Oh yeah, Super Cop.
God.
What about so the night before the Oscars, we watched Tar.
Yeah. Oh, Joe says they should have won Best Cinematography. You know what they should have won? You know what everything... Oh, yeah. You know what Everything Everywhere All at Once should have won? Best Costume. Like, and they weren't even... That girl, Shirley... I can't remember her name. The woman who does the costumes. I follow her on Instagram. I can't believe that movie was not nominated for costumes. That seems like a weird oversight. Like, just nominate it.
I think maybe... They thought of it as, I have some guesses, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
tell me what.
Well, first off, what's her name who won again? She's the new Edith Head. So she's just going to keep winning Oscars now.
So do you think, is that why...
Everybody knows her, right? And
is that why maybe Shirley Kurata? Is that her name, Shirley Kurata?
I think it might also be like a bias against, thrift store costuming, right? So, kind of like, building, maybe, I don't know. I know nothing about the inside workings of the costume clique in Hollywood, but so that's the people who are in, costumes.
Oh,
would
the Conan
be voting.
Yeah. So I can see, so the makers of costumes wouldn't be happy with you just going out.
Awards are specific to their field.
This is why we're going to Chinatown, by the way, tomorrow, is because I want to find that punk sweater. I'm sure there's going to be one there in that Chinatown, and I'm going to find it. The one near Columbia and near all the colleges in Chicago. I'm sure somebody has overlooked. You know what? That punk sweater will be there, but it'll be at like an extra small. It won't fit me. Conan's on here and saying there's a whole Michelle Yeoh collection on Criterion now. Okay, so anyway, Tar.
What'd you think?
Well, I guess that was a good movie because we were talking about it the next morning, and then they had what is that called when, halfway through the movie, maybe somebody died, so the rest of it's made up. Is that Time Knife? What is Time Knife? Because I saw somebody.
I don't know.
What is that? Somebody better explain to me what the Time Knife is.
Jacob's Ladder scenario. Well, there's definitely a turn, in the middle where,
Well, she just loses it to me. She loses it.
But and whether or not she actually lost it or if it's all, or everything's intentional, or is it just a little half-assed? I don't know. That was my only problem. The first hour, I was
sloppy writing. What is it called? Lazy writing.
It's not lazy writing. Not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't say that. there's, I don't know. There was a lot of directing going on.
Conan says you have to be able to separate the tar from the TARDIS. From the TARDIS. It was a good movie, but it's, again, these are checkers games compared to the chess game that is Everything Everywhere All at Once to me.
The thing is like, what, a week or two ago, I watched the 3-hour edit of director's cut of Amadeus, and I was not bored. And so I was bored during at least the first half of Tar.
That's because it was a lady.
Yeah, maybe that was it, but I don't think so. And so I'm trying to suss out, well, what's wrong here? Because, yeah, that's the thing, is I really liked, like, I saw Amadeus whenever it came out. How old was I then? And I was like, oh, this is a good movie. But watching it again as an old man and an old musician,
I didn't like that movie.
It's just like, holy crap, this is about, like, the core of, like the artistic life, where it's just like, why is this person, popular, and it's just like, why, God, why did you, I love you, God, and why did you give this asshole why is this asshole
should remake this.
Your mouthpiece? Why did you make this horrible person your mouthpiece? It's really just about, artistic jealousy and questioning why God would bless an awful person with a gift, right? And it's just like, it's really intense, I
don't know why I didn't like that movie any more than I did.
I think it's probably because it's really awful. Yeah, it's just all about jealousy.
Oh yeah, I guess it could be. Yeah.
And so Tar. Yeah, I guess that just puts Tar at a disadvantage then, where it's like, okay, I want. Yeah, I think I wanted a little more in my 2.5 hours.
So Everything Everywhere All at Once has such a freaking happy ending too. So that may have been part of it, right? Like, I can't remember what ends how Tar ends. So Cody is saying
it doesn't have a happy ending.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
Cody
that.
says I actually watched the wrong Tar on Tubi. which one? What?
I'm trying to think of what that would be. Huh? Oh yeah, no, there is. Yeah, that's right. It's not. It's just a different movie. It's
Larry's saying you should wear the Amadeus wig on stage. What if we were to remake Amadeus?
Like what? You mean just in like a contemporary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That somebody.
I'm sure someone has.
No,
it was a stage show. I mean, it was. It started out as a play. So
well, yeah, but with
sure
real bands. Like, what band is?
Sure, someone's done it.
What band is angry enough at another band for being more famous than them?
Every band.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a common problem.
Need to pick 2 bands. That's all.
Exactly.
Come on, guys.
Well, it just needs to be fictional. Yeah.
Oh, Cody's saying about a tar pit opening under LA with a monster that eats homeless people.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
cool.
That's not the tar I was thinking of. I thought.
Okay, and then Conan is saying the band She's of Inisherin is very good too. It gets pretty dark. Yes. Yeah. I know. I like that. I was just like, what?
So this is what I said a while ago, is I watched it twice, and I fell asleep when he made an announcement of the horrible thing he was going to do to himself, and I thought the movie was better without him making that announcement. The second time, I was like, oh, crap. He actually came out and said, I'm going to do this if you keep talking to me. And it's like, that kind of ruins the movie. The movie's much better. My sleep actually edited it into a much more devastating
I could edit this
film.
movie in my sleep. Cody is saying that Oasis versus Blur.
Yeah.
And then Danny Ingram says Corgan is Amadeus.
Yeah. There's so many possibilities. You just need to, it's
need to find the right one.
A wellspring.
Yeah.
It's just, Oh, I didn't think I would enjoy it. Amadeus.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember it being a long film when I watched it originally, but that was because I was sitting in a movie theater.
You don't like costume movies either.
Oh yeah, no,
I
hate old.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't take place in the.
If anybody's wearing a costume, it's all over for Rick. He's not going to watch it. I'm amazed you're watching The Mandalorian.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about that.
Okay.
That's
talk about,
I tolerated The Mandalorian, but now, Is half of the show
The new one's going to be good.
Just Baby Yoda looking at things? Like it's like reaction shots. It's like, you know what?
Oh, he's so cute. Oh, look at him.
Let's get another Baby Yoda reaction shot. Let's have this mute puppet.
Well, yeah, I was ready
his
to
eyebrows,
cancel. What's
curl
her name?
his ears.
What's the sister of what's his name's name?
Okay, here we go. 10 points. If anyone can guess what Rose is talking about.
There are not a lot of ladies in The Mandalorian.
Okay, so it is in The Mandalorian.
Yes,
So
with
that's
the
your
curly
first
hair.
hint. Lady with the curly hair. Who's the sister? I know who it is now. But I've answered this question at least 5 times while watching The Mandalorian.
Lisa something. What's her name?
Amy Sedaris.
Amy Sedaris. Okay. Now I forgot. You just say, "Oh, Amy Sedaris," you mean, and then I can be.
It took me a
goes,
little bit of time to figure out what the hell you were talking about.
Guy? And then he flips over, like he flips onto her, and I was ready to turn it off. I was like, "Fuck you," and like I like Amy Sedaris, but I don't understand why she's in there. And
I told
upsets me that
I told you what she is. She's the Jar Jar Binks of the Mandalorian.
Yeah. She had sex with a Jawa too. That character had sex with a Jawa.
Really?
Yeah.
She says that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
I think so too.
For a children's show.
I agreed.
For a
Conan
puppet show.
Conan's already Amy Sedaris.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
The you know what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to keep talking until we have like the best collection of comments. It'll be like, what the hell are all these comments? So let's see. We've got movies and stuff.
Me and the younger bag boy. Well, we got to get a name for him. Made it through The Last of Us, but it was like the last 2 episodes were pretty awful and it seemed inappropriate.
I don't watch that.
Yeah, and it's just turned into it's just a murderous bloodbath now. So it's gone from the it's done the Walking Dead kind of transition almost within one season, within 10 episodes. It was amazing. It's just like, okay, this is just going to be a bloodbath show now, which I guess makes sense, but they're actually not killing zombies. It's just killing other people.
Larry is saying she's good at fixing ships.
Amy Sedaris?
Oh, yeah. And then she steals. Yeah, I don't like that character, and I don't want to not like her.
You're just threatened by a woman who can fix things.
All right, so we're done with the Oscars now. Let's move on.
Yeah, we talked about The Mandalorian. We talked about the Last of Us, which you don't watch. Let's see, what else didn't you watch?
I'm on season 5. Like I'm getting into the heavy stuff of the Clone Wars. So just so you guys know, there's a lot of shit going down. I feel a little weird because I sit and watch it at night after I'm finished working and it's like 11 p.m. and I'm finished with my capoeira class and I'm just sitting there and it's like time to watch the Clone Wars, and like I sit there and I eat popcorn and I watch it like sitting at the in the kitchen, and then Rick comes in because he's been watching something intense, and I'll be like, guess what just happened? Bo-Katan said this to somebody else and it's getting intense, and I feel a little silly, but
I don't know why.
All right.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, you guys Tuesdayed it.
Discount Tuesday is back.
Were there other people there?
Yes, there were. There were quite a few people. Discount Tuesday is very busy.
Was it all dads and sons?
No. There were some
moms there who weren't at their capoeira class.
High school students who were misbehaving.
Oh, really?
There were some young men who tried to sneak in, like I think they were getting somehow they were getting a free popcorn with a ticket, and then like there were 3 of them, and then one of them tried to pass off. It was like the same ticket torn in half, and the guy behind the counter was just like super militant. He was like,
"Wow,
you only have 2 tickets here.
You thief!
There are 3 of you. Yeah,
you're going to take down the Warenberg."
And then at some point, they're like, "Oh, okay," and they're walking away, and he's like, "You need a 3rd ticket." And then he like reached, like just like a cop would, he reached for his walkie-talkie.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
did the kids run away?
I don't know
That's
what they
terrible.
did, but it was like they were trying to get a free popcorn and then try to sneak one of them in with on Discount Tuesday. So I was just like, oh man. And then it was like we got up to the counter, pre-ordered our food.
Yes.
And then
they could have stolen your food.
And then first off he says, "So a blue raspberry icy." And I'm like, "No, a red icy." And I ordered a red icy. And then he had to walk all the way across the concessions thing. He looked really frustrated about that.
Maybe you clicked the wrong box like I did.
And then he said, "Refills on the soda and popcorn. Icy does not get a refill." I'm like, I know. Okay. It's just like, wow, man. Who knew?
Something like that.
I mean,
that
people are coming
me.
back to the theaters,
Yeah.
but it's a little scary. Although, yeah, cheap Tuesday has got to be the worst day.
Sure, yeah,
to
you've
work
got
the
real
movie
assholes
theater,
there,
right?
probably.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it's a bunch of cheapskates and people who can go to a movie on a Tuesday.
Okay. Cody says we're back to The Last of Us. The game is way more of a bloodbath. They actually toned it down, lol. And J.J. Abrams did a better job with Star Trek than he did with Star Wars. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. With the little bit I've watched each of those, the movies. Yeah, definitely the Star Wars or Star
Trek did he do?
The reboot one
of Star Trek 2.
And this is what I want to say is about The Last of Us. Is it's just like, well, first off, these HBO shows that only a small number of people watch, right? So it's culturally significant, but only to people who do the New York Times crossword puzzle and
which,
other,
by the way,
like Game of Thrones, right? It's like,
yeah.
it's like this show is huge, and it's like, no, it's not huge. It's like all the people who pay for HBO watch it, and then. And Last of Us, but then it's like, Station 11. I was just thinking about Station 11 again. Is so much better, and it's like, that doesn't get didn't get well. It's got a little bit of press.
Probably be in the New York Times crossword puzzle.
No, it'll never be in there. But yeah,
Andrea, our childhood friend Alex Borstein was in the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Yeah, I made a noise.
Yeah. I was like, "What the hell?" You made another noise.
It's like 911. She had 911 on speed dial.
What's that? He's like, "Andrea's in the New York Times." I was like, "Oh, that's great." And then Alex. And so I texted her, and I said, she's like, "It's crazy." And then I said, and you were like, "Oh, I was going to write an email to her." And I'm like, "Just write it." People love that when people notice that.
And actually what I was going to do is I was going to cut it out of the newspaper and put it in an envelope and mail it to her.
Which my
dad...
dad...
Did you see this?
Yeah, there you go.
This is like emailing is like the equivalent, like a person my age. It's like the equivalent of getting a news article clipped out of a newspaper.
You have her email address?
Mail. Yeah.
Oh, I think I only have her text. Larry says, "I've been revisiting Absolutely Fabulous on Hulu lately."
Yeah, I've never watched that.
I've never watched it either. We'll have to watch. Is that like with gay people or trans? What is it? Is it something different? What is it?
It's obnoxious British women.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so let's move on.
What's her name was in some Young Ones episodes? She's talking about her period. I think that's the quote. I can't remember. What else? Oh yeah, what else? Oh, I have another list. I have a list. We've blasted through these. Ant-Man. Didn't talk about Ant-Man. So this is my review of Ant-Man. It's like I didn't fall asleep during it. That doesn't mean it was better than these other Marvel movies, but I'm trying to understand, is it just that finally everyone's caught on that it's these movies are bullshit or something? Like, why do people hate this Ant-Man but don't have a problem with other Marvel
That's what, like,
movies?
I wasn't even gonna, you were like, you want to go see Ant-Man? And I was like, I get my capoeira class.
Junior wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, and I had heard that it was like more like the Doctor Strange.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But yeah, so that's the thing is Paul Rudd's, he's a little goofy in it. He's got goofy moments, but he's pretty serious for a lot of it. So I guess that's why people don't like it. But it seems it's kind of like static to me. It's like why Why do you like pink noise better than white noise? Is that what it is?
I told you that I gave up after like I loved the last Thor movie and everybody hated it. And the thing I loved most about it was just like every time King Valkyrie, a king that's a lady king, showed up on the screen, I was just like, there's a lady king. I was just so, oh my God, and she's doing an Old Spice commercial. It's talking about commercialism. Oh my God, there's a reference to what's a Man on the Moon? What's that thing called? Lumiere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a reference to that. Oh, my God, it's the greatest thing. And I think I brought it up in my class, and the kids were like, I was nearly canceled for liking that movie. And I bought Old Spice for myself just because King Valkyrie, and what's his name? There's a little stubby Zeus guy too, is in it. I thought that movie was hysterical, but everybody hated it and hated me for liking it, and so I've given up on Marvel for that.
Speaking of product placement, boy, that Little Mermaid ad.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of Oscars, and then watching the
that
clip, it's like, okay, wow.
Why did they do
in
that?
clip? The acting seems really terrible.
Oh, yeah,
Everybody. No, I'm not talking about specifically the controversial Little Mermaid. I was just like, wow, this possibly could be the worst movie I don't see in the next year.
Yeah.
I was amazed. I was like, oh, that's not going to be good.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Okay, so what else is on your list? I interrupted you. As one
Interrupting
does.
gives us that it stretches because we've got 13 minutes left, and I don't know how we're going to fill it. Banks, you want to talk about money? The banking system?
Sure.
I was
thinking about different banks, but yes. Go on.
Who?
Oh, it's not Tom Banks. Go on with the banks.
Elizabeth Banks, director of Cocaine Bear.
I missed the Cocaine Bear thing too.
That upset me. I did not like, what's her name? Malala? What's her name?
Yeah.
Being the butt of a joke in a Cocaine Bear joke. I just thought, that's not cool.
Yeah. Well, did she like it, or maybe she didn't? Maybe
she took the high road. I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't even see it. I must have been out of the room at that point. Okay. What else you got? All right, banks. The banks. Yeah. Did you finish watching or listening to that book?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Neither. It was kind of sad.
Myth. Yeah, it's the problem is when you kind of already feel like, it's kind of like when you feel like you're yelling into the black hole for 30 years, and then somebody puts out a book that says, oh yeah, the free market is a lie and has ruined the country. And it's just like, to me, it's just like, oh, it's like, This is the deregulation chickens coming home to roost year. It's just like, oh, let's deregulate everything, and then what's going to happen? Oh, trains are just going to be crashing left and right, and planes are going to be delayed for months at a time. And well, that was last year, I guess, but it's still let's just say it was this year, and then the banking stuff going on where it's like, oh.
It's neat. It seems like they've kind of put a plug in the dam of collapse or something, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
they figured out a way to shut down any kind of hysteria. Like for example, there was there was a pandemic, right. And that went on for a couple of years, and we couldn't go to school. People lost their jobs and stuff. And so that was not handled. That was mishandled. It seems like...
I don't know if
not handled the way you wanted it to be handled.
Yeah. The thing is that I think the problem is when the economy kind of just goes boop after a massive shutdown of the planet. That was my problem, was like, ooh, something seems wrong, because we should be in a recession. We should be, this should be a trench that we're digging ourselves out of. But we are digging ourselves, or there is a trench. It's just nobody noticed it, or nobody is acknowledging the trench. And now somebody fell into the trench. or they've been digging, and then they can't get up. They can't get out.
Yeah.
Because it rained. It started raining in California. And it's like, oh shit, this trench we've been digging, I'm unable to get myself out now that I've dug it so deep and now it's raining, and I need to get out, and it's like, yeah, that's the metaphor I'm going to use for this, because it just, yeah. And so then I'm wondering why crypto is going up, and it's because, is it because everybody realizes that all economic systems are artificial and imaginary?
That always blew my mind. People are like, I would never buy something that I can't touch.
Well, no, but the thing is that it's totally unregulated, right? So that's the thing, is it's just all this regulation stuff.
I would never buy something that's unregulated, like pot.
Well, no,
I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be a crypto cheerleader. It's just I think maybe the opposite thing that should be happening is happening, where people are like, oh, okay, everything's a scam, and so I might as well. At least there is some regulation and some sort of safety net with our current banking system. If you're a billionaire or a millionaire.
yeah. This is what. Yeah, they're.
And it's not. Yeah, and supposedly the investors and the gamblers are going to get get screwed. It's just the people who stored $25 million or whatever in the bank they're going to get their money back, even though it's
right.
A million times. How many times larger than the guarantee?
The guarantee, yeah. That's what was the other thing.
That the banks are supposed to be paying into. So it's just kind of like, so like if I insure my house for $250,000 and then it burns down and I say, oh no, my house was worth $25 million, is State Farm or what is it? What's our home insurance?
You're not rich.
Are they going to give me $25 million for
my
house?
No,
they're going to say,
no, rich.
You paid. You're
not
paying.
Yeah.
Household insurance for that's not even that much, but anyways, yeah. So that bothers me.
Larry's asking if we have any plans for the upcoming spring break. Our spring break was last week, and we worked through it all. Yeah, this is like I stopped working today like at 2 and started cleaning my room. That was my break. As
a punishment. Clean your room.
No. That was my joyful, like, I'm not going to work anymore. I'm going to, You people think professors don't do anything, but we are always working. Okay, sorry. You made a face.
That's not true. We're not always working.
One problem is you can set off a bank run via tweet.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's accelerated.
April, thank you.
That's the problem, right? Is this acceleration, and I really don't know how we're going to deal with it, because it is everything's going to be.
We're going to ban TikTok.
And then on top of it, actually, the physical world, too. I was thinking about that, where it's like, I just keep thinking about that time in, where was it, Wyoming, where we hit that black ice, and I basically sat in the van, serpentining across at least a mile of road, basically just swinging the car back and forth, the van, and then we hit hard asphalt again, and then the car locked in the van, but it was like that mile of basically swerving.
That's why you don't go on tour in the winter.
That feels like what's happening with the environment. It feels like it's what's happening with everything, economy, banks. It's like we've got these crazy fluctuations happening, and it's kind of like, are we gonna?
And the environment too, Rick.
Yes, exactly. And
everything.
Are we gonna?
It's the quickening.
Yeah, no, I know it is, and so some of it is the digital acceleration, but then it's also, there is a physical effect that's happening on the planet too. That's an acceleration, it's in extremes, and so I'm worried about, can we continue to kind of do these sine waves and not go off the road, dig into the shoulder and spin out. And that's what I'm worried about is how to deal with this, because it's also like freaking people, dealing with, it's like, I don't want to pay taxes for my local school district. And then your school system collapses. And then it's like, wait a minute.
Well, why?
I don't want our school system to collapse.
We'll see what happens if they vote for the referendum. Then you can be happy. You can be like,
we're not in that town, so we're not in that school district, so we're fine.
You think?
No, I know. It takes a village. It takes a village. We're part of a larger community. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
And a lot of our coworkers, people we work with and know.
You're going to fill up the university high school, and then nobody else will be able to get in there. or they're going to maybe they'll send their kids for music lessons because there's a local new music school here.
And it goes, I don't know how I'm getting here, but it's just, again, just the whole thing about like college is too expensive and everything like that. Yeah, it's too expensive. You know why it's too expensive? Because we stopped investing in it. I just want to say, I see these reports over and over again. And it's like we're getting 13% of our budget.
Yeah, you're in the finance and planning
is from the state
part of the Senate. Yeah,
everything
know all
else
about
is
this stuff.
like tuition and endowment, and it's like okay.
Larry's trying to change the subject on you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the
please.
front yard garden still happening?
I'm just hoping to.
You're like our child, Larry. like Mommy and Daddy. Can you? Is the front yard garden still happening?
Front yard garden is not going to happen now. Maybe a natural lawn or something like that. But no, if the backyard garden happens, but there's some things that need to be dealt with before that.
All right.
Although,
I was just thinking about
honestly, I had talk about the federal or the local government. I mean, I had about 500 pounds of leaves. Set up. What do they call it in a berm? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
In a pile in the what is it called? The causeway? No, it's not called the.
I think it's called a parkway or something.
Parkway.
The parkway.
Yeah. Where you're supposed to leave your leaves for pickup.
Yeah.
And basically, they sat there for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then now all the grass in that part from the sidewalk to the street is all dead.
That wasn't grass.
Well, it was. It was
all
grass-like.
weeds.
It was green stuff. The green stuff is now all dead.
It'll come back. All that stuff.
I don't know. I'm not so sure.
I was
Some of it was
interested
grass.
you wanted to get that in before you guys leave. Aw. Where it's on hold, I guess. The front yard garden is on hold. What could we grow in that little area there? That means we could plant like strawberries right there for dogs to pee on.
This is the quote that's going to guide me for the rest of my life. An idea without a plan is just a dream.
Okay.
So, front yard garden. It's just an idea right now. There is no plan.
Yeah. There it is. There needs to be a plan.
Exactly.
All right, so that area where the tree is, where I would want to put a front yard garden, where the tree is not anymore, where we have full sun, the only place in our yard that has full sun also would need to be watered all the time because it's also really dry right there. So, I don't know. I don't know.
We've got plenty of water in central Illinois.
That's right.
Although again, we don't tap into the Muhammad aquifer.
Do you have anything? Yeah. Do you have anything else on your list?
No, I don't.
We've done everything
on my list. That's all I could remember.
All right.
What else happened? Anything else?
Did we practice? We practiced.
Yeah, we had a rehearsal.
Yeah. That's always nice. A poster children rehearsal.
There was something else. Oh, you had your book events.
Oh, yeah. I had Lisa Braultz Kelly interviewed me for one of them. And I'm like, and that was the first one that I did too. Herb Garden, Larry, yes.
Who's that? Was he in Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Herb Garden.
Herb Garden.
Herb
Garden.
I just realized you weren't there at that. So one of the first questions she asked me that just totally stumped me. She's like, "Well, tell us what the scene was like, back then." And I'm looking at her like, "You know better than me. Why are you asking me that?" Like, I was just like, God, what do I? It was one of those things where I have this thing where like, I don't know what to say sometimes. Like when I first started teaching, like especially music business, I wasn't sure what to teach, And then Steve Parsons, bless his soul, he's wonderful, trombonist, still alive, trombonist, a little older than me, came in. He was the director of the School of Music. He came in and he had an outline about the music business. It was like
a plan.
It was so perfect. It was a plan, right? Thanks. It was so perfect. It was like everything, like just this whole, and he was like, and then you buy a trombone and then you take lessons. And then it was just like a step through guide. Like I knew some of it, like the part where you buy the trombone and you take lessons, I was like, oh, everybody knows that part. And then he's like, and then nice people get hired more than assholes who are really good. You might be an asshole. Of course, he would never say that. Think of this guy as like the blue Sesame Street guy, but just lovable. I loved this guy. So like he'd be like, what did he say? Like,
Blue Sesame Street guy was only on like the first few years. Like
all right, so never mind. You're not going to know
like
what that is. Just
the
really nice trombone
with the briefcase.
Yeah, businessman. Yeah, kind of like that. So
with a mustache.
Like, and he'd say like, so you could be really, really good at your instrument, but it was more important to like be on time to rehearsals and answer your phone when people called you and stuff, and just be collegial, nice person, And I was like, God, this is fantastic. So I'm talking about how to answer a frickin' question. And she asked me how the scene was, and I was just like, can I answer a different one that I know? Like drums, I felt like such an idiot, but I guess it was okay. And then the other thing was that everybody who was in the book was at that interview. So like, including my Taekwondo teacher, like who I wrote about and like kind of didn't send to him for okay. Mm-hmm. Like I sent everybody like, here, Conan, is this okay? Or here, like everybody who's written it in the book. DJ, I think I can't remember. You guys all, I have your writing in the book. And I sent it to you. I'd send it like even in every part with Steve Albini. I remember I had to go through and like search for Steve Albini and take every part and then make a Word document and send it to him and go, hey, Steve, is this all okay? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And I did that for everybody except Ian Mackay. Like I left him for last because I figured we'd get into arguments about stuff. And we did, and he fixed it all. The one person who I did not send any of this stuff to, and my reasoning was it had already appeared on the web, was Kwon and was Master Hyung. It was like, I'm not going to send it to him because I hope he'll never see it and it's going to be fine. And I've already written about it and it was already on the web and he probably already saw it a million years ago anyway, so it should be fine. And yet there he was, like standing like right next to the stage, and Jane of the song was there. Like all these people from the book were there. Bill Johnson was there. Brendan was there, our previous drummer, and I didn't recognize him. So yeah, it was really kind of, but Lisa's a great, she's amazing and stuff, but I felt like I wish that I could have done a little bit better on the questions.
And then the next at the one in Bloomington Normal.
Well, he sent me questions beforehand. So I was like, prepared. Oh, okay, yeah. So I was kind of like, I thought about it a little bit beforehand. I'm not like, and like also like, it's nice when you're there to answer questions for me, like if somebody asks me a question and I can just relay it to you and you have an answer, and it's always great. And it's always what I would have wished I would have answered. So are you listening?
Kind of.
Anyway, I had book events. Yeah.
Book is available on posterchildren.com and fine record stores and bookstores, independent record stores, bookstores,
sound like
commercial
a couple of
bookstores, Flower, vinyl, reissue. Also, Rose will be at the shows, and she'll happily sign a book for you at a show.
I guess,
if you've already purchased a book, or if you want to purchase a book, but you should also support indie bookstores.
Cody says, you sound like a couple of dildos. Thank you, Cody.
What is that about?
I don't have no idea.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Sleep tight. Enjoy your daylight savings. Is that what this is now?
I like it.